Hey, John Sonmez from SimpleProgrammer.com. So I get a lot of questions about whether or not you should basically do multiple things, right? So I always talk about specializing, right? And I get a lot of flack for that because people say, well, what about being a polyglot? What about knowing multiple programming languages, doing multiple things? And so I kind of want to clear that up in this video and talk about why specialization can be good, but why it's also important to do other things, what I call opening as many doors as possible. So here's the thing. You do need to have some kind of a specialization, right? You need to be known for something, because if you do a bunch of different things, right? A lot of us do a lot of different things, and you try to explain what you do to someone, well, it's going to be this long speech, right? You're not going to be able to concisely state what you do. The same thing would be true of a company or any kind of business, right? If you can't say what it is that you're about and what it is that you do, you've got a problem, because you can't explain yourself. You can't advertise yourself. It becomes an issue. Now, so it's really important to have that, but that doesn't mean that's all that you do. And in fact, it's really important to open as many doors as possible, to not just focus on a single thing. You need an expertise. Maybe your expertise is in some particular programming language or technology or some area. But you also need to have a very broad base of different technologies and flexibility. And you might even jump from expertise to expertise. You might even jump from a specialization to billing yourself one way or under one type of elevator pitch or what you're about to another one. But the thing is that in order to be able to do that, you've got to have a big diverse background. And really, the thing that I think is more likely to make you successful, or most likely to make you successful overall, is opening up as many doors as possible, is basically creating as many opportunities as you can. Now, I'll take myself as an example, right? I've done a lot of different things in my career. I worked in a lot of different programming languages, of course, with a lot of different companies. But I've also done things like created, apps, mobile applications. I've tried to create businesses, and I've, created this video series, podcasts, blogs, all kinds of different things, opportunities. I do real estate investment. I've invested in the stock market. I own a lot of real estate properties, right? That's one of the things that could turn big for me, and it ended up doing that. I did Pluralsight videos, online training courses. I spread out in all these different directions instead of focusing on just one. And, if I just focused on one direction, it's possible that I would have really made it big in that one direction. But by a result of opening all these different doors and having all this kind of opportunity, all these opportunities available, there's a lot of chances to hit it big. And I had a couple of really big successes. Not every door that I opened that led to something bigger, or led to some of them were dead ends. But because I had so many doors open, because I had so many different opportunities, so many irons in the fire, so to speak, a bunch of them hit. Like doing the Pluralsight videos was really successful for me. My blog ended up being really, really successful. The real estate investments that I did ended up becoming, a way that I could retire young. So all those things, and that's only a few of the doors out of maybe the hundreds of doors that I opened. So all this is really to say that, yes, when I talk about specialization, you absolutely have to have it. You have to have some way to market yourself. You have to have something that you can talk about and tell people that you represent at that given time. It can change over time. But at the same time, you got to be opening all these other doors. You got to be going in all these other places and seeing which things work. Because the chance of you picking one thing, and that one thing being the thing that you get traction on and that works out for you, is very slim. You don't want to spend years going down a path that ends up being a dead end, right? So, you pick the thing that you're going to be known for, that you're going to market yourself as, but you also open up all these other doors and you see which ones work. And, when something starts to gain traction, you might jump tracks and that might become your specialization. So hopefully that clears things up. I don't want to paint the picture that you should just focus and specialize on one thing. The most valuable software developers are ones that can work in a variety of different environments and technologies and programming languages. But no one ever hires someone based on that, right? No one ever says, oh, I want a polyglot programmer. They might actually want one, but the job descriptions are usually pretty specific. Usually a set of technologies. They're usually looking for a specific person. Same thing with clients. If you're a freelancer and you're looking for clients, a client doesn't want to hire a jack of all trades. He's going to assume that you're not good at any of them or not an expert. They want an expert, right? When you hire someone to get something done, you typically want an expert. So you got to come off as an expert, pick an area of expertise, even though even though that's the tip of the iceberg, even though it might be deeper underneath, and you might have all these other abilities and skills and passions, and sometimes you trim those. You trim the tree. You find the things that aren't working. You stop doing those. You start doing more of the things that are working, and you figure out what things you like to do. So that's my advice for this video. Hopefully you found this useful. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you are interested in getting more of these videos, and you can check out my blog at simpleprogrammer.com. Thanks, and I'll talk to you next time. Take care.